Well, on this day, I see clearly everything has come to life. A better place and a broken dream, and we'll leave it all behind. Edge is putting Fickle fans in their place this week, and I'm grabbing my mocha frappuccino, some popcorn, and I'm enjoying the show. Not just Edge calling out these Fickle fucks with the attention span of a squirrel, but the reaction from these I need instant gratification dipshits is even more hilarious. They don't know how to react, so they're turning their backs on Edge now. Why not? They're already fickle as fuck. Let's just talk more shit about Edge, of all people. He's washed up, they're saying. Yet he just went 37 minutes with one of the best in the world, Randy Orton. But okay, these fuckwads know best. He shouldn't have come back. Yet he and Orton just had the best storyline heading into WrestleMania. But okay, these keyboard warriors know best. He needs to learn to take criticism. Okay, the dude's 46 years old, and he's been doing this for 2 decades. He takes criticism every single night he goes out there by his peers. But okay, these clowns know best. He has to accept our opinions, they're saying. And you have to accept that he is telling you to put your phone down, shut the fuck up, and be a fan for once. He is telling you, just like the Amplified Man is telling you, that tweeting 17 times during a show is not helping the product, it's just ruining the business. Everybody wants to be a critic all of the time instead of being a fan. And when someone like Edge tells them to just stop for a minute, they cry out, "My opinion matters! It's my opinion, man! This is my opinion and it matters! You can't handle it, man! You should just leave the wrestling business if you can't handle my opinion, man!" What is these people's obsession with feeling the need to express their feelings and opinions 24 hours a day these days? What happened in their youth? What has happened to today's society that this is the case? This is what we all have to endure. Everybody needs to express themselves all the time, and if somebody tells them to just shut the fuck up for a second, it's the end of the world. You're taking away my free speech. Seriously, this generation is softer than a 12-pack of Charmin Ultra Soft toilet paper. It's sad, it's pathetic. And when I started this channel, I made the same mistake because I was told that's how you get an audience. You have to tweet during shows. Until I realized I was becoming what I had always hated. The guy who needs to be heard at all times. That guy is annoying and useless. That guy's opinion is as useful as a hamburger in a hot dog eating contest. Not needed. If that's how you have to grow an audience, I'll grow it the old-fashioned way, through grit. And that's what I've been doing. I started this channel in 2016, got booted for doing the wrong things, came back strong in 2017, and I have never tried to pimp out my channel. I have never tried to take shortcuts. I never asked one person to subscribe. I've never asked one person to smash a like button. I've never asked one person to join a Patreon. None of it. I don't have it. I don't want it. If you do it, I want you to do it because you love this channel and the Amplified Man. You're a part of something special. You're a part of the unit. Not because I'm trying to tell you to do it. Not because I'm trying to urge you or lead you, steer you into doing something for me. I want you to want to do it. I don't want to do anything that doesn't fall in line with my beliefs, my morals on how something should be ran. I didn't want to be that annoying, useless, meaningless guy in this community. There's enough of them, especially on this platform. And most of these assholes don't even bother being respectful. Something simple like, damn, Edge going 37 minutes after 9 years, props. Wouldn't mind it being 10 minutes shorter though, dragged a bit personally, but a solid war was definitely needed to end this story, right? Hey, look at that! That's constructive opinions! A constructive opinion, everybody! That's unheard of these days. Still not needed per se, but at least now if Edge comes across it, he won't think, okay, another ungrateful, rude prick telling me what my job should have been, telling me how to do my job. These days, nobody cares how they talk to one another. As long as their opinion is known, that's all that matters. I promise you, never will my channel spew bullshit. I was right there on the front lines when Rollins and Corbin, Paige, Xavier, and others talk shit about the fans. I was heated and let each one of them know that we have every right to our opinion, and to attack us for such is not the way they should be going about business. But don't get it twisted. I stood up for all of us fans for the right reasons, because I was trying to really help the product, that company, this business. I didn't stand up for all of us and our opinions just so some ignorant, rude little bitch could take his dirty 5-year-old phone and his grubby little fingers and start critiquing the show 17 times during the show. I mean, if you're going to even try, and I mean even attempt to be a critic, at least know how to do it. Aside from the fact that you actually have to have knowledge about what you were talking about. Be knowledgeable to the product you are covering. You also have to put your phone down and watch the entire show. Make sure you don't miss anything. Then you write your blog or post or record your podcast. Otherwise, who the fuck is going to take you seriously? If your head was down in your phone for half of the fucking show. It's not like Major League Baseball or the NFL where you can tweet during plays. These schmucks are tweeting during matches. This is too long. This is dragging. Oh my god, this should have ended 10 minutes ago. No, it's called selling in psychology. Your dumbass doesn't have the attention span to comprehend that. But again, I'll always stick up for us fans when wrestlers try to tell us we don't have a voice. But Edge and Randy Orton is where I draw the line. People thinking they know better than Edge and Orton of all people. Ha ha! That is laughable, yet quite sad. It is clear that that type of match, that type of storytelling, the entire story with Edge and Orton, that was a throwback to around the Attitude Era. Just two dudes beating the hell out of each other all around a building. Lots of selling, lots of psychology. That was a throwback. That's why I loved it personally, and that's why fans like the Amplified Man, like-minded fans, we enjoyed that. Today's wrestling fan, they don't have that attention span anymore. With the cell phone being so prominent, everybody needs to have that now. Everybody needs to be in that 76 times during an entire show. 17 times during a fucking match. And nobody cares about selling or psychology anymore. I actually saw people, this is a true story, guys. Not one, not two, multiple people going, this could have been 20 minutes and it would have been the same. This should have been only 20 minutes, BC. It didn't need to be a minute more. Too many pauses. Too much lack of action. It got boring. And I'm thinking, this is what I mean. Everybody's trying to be a critic, but they're dumb as fuck. They suck at what they do if they're trying to be a critic. They should really stop typing at that point. What type of selling, what type of psychology are you getting out of Edge and Orton in 20 minutes for a last man standing match? And they wanted this thing to be 20, 25 minutes. I want somebody to act like they truly are getting the shit kicked out of them. Like when Edge was ascending that 18-wheeler. And Orton just had this grin like, and he literally said out, "Where are you going, Edge?" With a little bit of a smile, a little grin, because he was so fucking hurt that he knew he can't climb that 18-wheeler. He needed to take that rest. But he was like, fuck, we are in it now, man. That grin was like This is what I thought he still had. Motherfucker, he is not giving up. That type of shit had me on the edge of my seat, and everybody else on social media land is in their phone. This is dragging. Wow, man, I want to go play my video games, and my mom made me hot cocoa. I don't want it to get cold. Macy, is this gonna end soon? Motherfucker, put your fucking phone down, let the hot cocoa get cold, fuck your video games, and enjoy Edge and Randy motherfucking Orton! I'm sorry. No. Today's fans fickle as fuck. You love the storyline, and when they finally beat the hell out of each other, Edge is flying off fucking structures into tables. Edge is getting fucking DDT'd to the back of a pickup truck after coming off of a huge double neck surgery, 2 of them. They're on top of an 18-wheeler taking RKOs and concertos. It's too boring. It's dragging too long. I got this one. All they did was punch, kick, and throw each other into walls. Motherfucker, I just named you a handful of shit off the top of my fucking dome piece. That was legit in that match. Edge chucking Orton through the fucking boardroom table that they always hold the meetings in the Performance Center. It's 2 dudes in a grudge match, in a last man standing. What do you mean it only needs to be 20 minutes? But to each their own. To each their own. To just come out of that shit after 9 years for Edge, 37 minutes, it's clear a lot of people liked the match, but all you could type down with your grubby little fingers is, too long, too boring, it dragged, could have been 10 minutes shorter. That's all you had to put out there to social media land, and you tagged Edge and Orton in it so they could see it? You're a fucking asshole, dude. You're a fucking dipshit, a fuckwad to the highest level. Just accept it when Edge calls you out. Because you got called out. You're a fool. And now you're gonna cry and completely turn your back because you got called out. Because you're used to in your life not being called out on shit. You get everything you want. You grew up with your fucking phone in your hand. You're a critic on everything. I love when our voices are heard. I love opinions when they're formatted correctly. Other than that, you guys know how I feel about opinions. But when they're formulated correctly, our voice is dominant. Nobody wants to be respectful anymore. And on top of that, nobody even knows what the fuck they're talking about. You know? If you honestly just think it was too long or whatever, just leave it at that then, man. To me, you already look like a fool. But then you try to be smart. I saw so many people trying to act like they knew what they were talking about. So then it doesn't become an opinion anymore. They're like, this should have been 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops. Would have been the same result. And I'm like, dude, you would have taken away 10 to 12 minutes of selling and psychology that people like me still want because we're not into our phones. We don't have the attention span of a squirrel, and we don't need instant gratification. Let me enjoy this. Why are you taking that away from me? Because this will get back to the old man with your fickleness. In the same night, oh, this match shouldn't have been 4 minutes for the heavyweight championship. This match was too short. Oh, this one over here is too long. What, you want it to be just fucking perfect when all you're doing is you're confusing the suits and ties even more than they already are. Just enjoy the fucking Edge and Orton beatdown for what it is. A grudge match and a last man standing. And if you truly feel it's too boring and you truly need to put that on social media, cool. Then just do that. But don't start to act like you know what you're talking about. Because it would not have worked in 20 minutes. It should not have worked in 20 minutes. Or it wouldn't have been done correctly. Then I got people saying it should have been shot in cinematic form. What are you talking about? What is happening? It is a grudge match. What the fuck needs to be cinematic? It's two dudes beating the shit out of one another. I can't even, guys. I can't. I started this channel to try to make the companies better, right? Knowledgeable fans getting together in one place. That was the whole point of the amplified unit, and thankfully I've done that. But now we're fighting a whole nother battle. Dipshitted, dumbfuck fans that think they're actually critics. Fans that think they actually know what they're talking about just because they're listening to podcasters that believe they know what they're talking about. That's what makes the amplified man in this channel. That's what sets us apart from every other schmuck in this community, especially on this damn platform. They're all living in an opinionated world. I'm living in a factual world. I'm trying to change the business based on facts. They're too busy telling everyone about their opinions, expressing their feelings. Because they need to be heard. They're all up in their feelings. This fucking... I tell you, man, people these days irritate the fucking shit out of me. You try and tell Edge and Orton how to do their job. Let me know how that goes for you. And when they put you in your place, you cry out even more. You turn your backs on them even more. And you tell 46-year-old Adam Copeland, who's been doing this for over 2 decades, you tell him he's wrong. You tell him he needs to take criticisms. Oh, he told you to fuck off with your opinion, and you're crying today. All those motherfuckers are crying today. No, man, that's my opinion, dude. What do you mean we complain just to complain? That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do. How the fuck is he wrong, dude? How the fuck is he wrong, dude? The amplified man calls it down the middle. He'll call out the bullshit and the negative, but he intertwines, he intervenes, injects all the positive that needs to be talked about. Not just for a split second, but he goes in detail with the positive just as much as the negatives. And his opinions, when he does spew them, when the amplified man does put an opinion out there, it is based on research and fact still has reasoning behind it. And then there's people that just want to bitch, right? People on this platform, it's their shtick. I get it. Brings in viewers, lets people go, hey man, this is entertaining. I don't need that, bro. I know being super positive would get me fucking subscribers and viewers. I know being super negative would get me viewers and subscribers. And calling it down the middle might not be as fancy. I understand I'm going to take a hit view-wise and subscriber-wise because I'm not picking the side, right? I'm not picking a shtick. My cross to bear. I'm fine with that. My goal from day one was to help the business as a whole. If I can do that by giving in sending out there to the world constructive criticism, opinions that actually hold weight and matter, respectfully, and justified because research and fact was put into it, if I can give those type of opinions, where a wrestler can come across it and go, good thought, never thought of that. Or, that's smart actually. Or, I'm going to think about that next time. If I can do that, then I'm doing my job, man. Everybody else can pander. Everybody else can spew opinions 24/7 a day. That's the world we live in. That's fine. I'm not going to change for that. I don't want Adam Copeland to do such, nor Randall Orton. Edge called people out. They can't handle it today. I'm loving it. Watching them cry even more. Watching them try to double down that their opinion matters, man. It's hilarious to me. It's absolutely hilarious because, again, when I think that today's younger wrestlers are calling out the fans unjustly, I stick up first and foremost for this community, for us fans, especially my amplified unit. But when I see Adam Copeland and Randy Orton and what was said about their fucking match and what they should be doing with their match and with their careers and what it should have been, I couldn't help but laugh. I even had to call out those fans. And when I see Edge calling out them motherfuckers, that's when you grab your Frappuccino and your popcorn and you enjoy the show, because these fickle fan fucks are gonna cry even more. And that's exactly what's happening. I fucking loved it. And Ronda Rousey recently did an interview where she said, why would I come back full time for these fans? These fucking fans who don't appreciate me, obviously. She came right out and basically, you know she wanted to use it. I'll use it for her. Said, why would I come back for these fickle fans? What the fuck is it doing for me? I could have came back. I could have came to WWE on a very short-term contract and worked limited days like Brock Lesnar. I decided to consume myself for it because I loved it. And by the time she left, guys, 1 year later, these fickle fans, disrespectful as all fuck, by the way, they made her not even probably love this anymore. That's how much fans suck today. It's one thing to give out criticism, right? It's one thing to think you know what you're talking about. It's one thing to go on social media 17 times a fucking hour, 76 times a show. I get it. But when you're so fucking disrespectful and you just have one negative thing to say after one negative thing to say after one negative thing to say about somebody who's actually improving, because that's what Ronda did by the week, by the month, bro, you make them not even want to do it anymore. These are the type of people that I honestly believe subconsciously want Edge to already leave. So from this point out, they're just going to talk more shit and more shit and more shit until Edge just doesn't fucking even want to do it anymore. But fans today are just as toxic as the old man in Stamford, Connecticut. I don't know which is worse anymore. You add the two together, and that's why pro wrestling is in the state that it's in. Fickle fans and a delusional old man. There you go. There's your fucking concoction. There's your mixed drink. Vince McMahon and fickle fans. That's why pro wrestling sucks today. Ronda Rousey's even fucking saying that, and people are pissed at Rousey. What the hell? We have our rights, man. We have opinions, man. And she has hers. You made it not even fucking fun anymore. You probably fucking diluted her fucking passion for it. And for what? What are you gonna say? Amplified, man. She couldn't handle it, man. Bro, she's handling it fine. She's just saying what is on her mind. It's not even fucking fun anymore. You fucking ruin any type of fun for any of them. Not the people trying to make it better. People that are just being fucking stupid. Catcalling and shit probably too. But what the fuck? Why would you? I'm asking you, man. Anybody who wants to disagree with anything I said in this fucking, in this cast, what would make you come back if you're Ronda Rousey? Well, if I really loved it, BC, but what is there to love? Bro, you're going out there to entertain ungrateful fucks. At that point, they're just ungrateful and rude. No matter what you do, they're just going to be on their fucking phone, not even paying attention, but saying your match sucks. Or it's going too long, or some bullshit. They'll always find something, these type of fickle fans. WWE has been bad enough. The old man is so delusional enough. Let's call out what really needs to be called out. When you see somebody like Ronda improving by the month, and you see Edge and Orton doing what they did at WrestleMania, and these are the type of things that fans are really gonna get on their ass for, then where does it end? There is no end for it. These fans, and I use that in fucking quotes to the highest degree, they've hijacked the entire business. These fickle fans have hijacked the business to the point where it's no longer fun for the performers. So, where we say, it's not even fun for us anymore, the product sucks. The WWE has been sucking, right? Well, you can flip that now. It's not fun for them either. And you know, if it's Rollins or Corbin or Xavier, and these are people that we express how we feel and what they should do, talk to the old man. Tell him what's up. Tell him what we're saying, man, because you know it's true. And they refuse to do such. That's one thing. But when you get on Edge and Orton, when they're actually doing everything correctly, When you add in Rousey, who actually added believability to that women's division, and you shit on all of them, bro, then you're just a detriment to the business. You're not helping it, you're hurting it even more. You're no longer a part of the solution, you're just a part of the problem. You have to know who to shit on and when. What a lot of these fickle fans are doing is they're shitting on the wrong people at the wrong times. And this is going to get back to suits and ties. It'll make it even fucking worse than it already is. That is our morning monologue. I know it was longer. Not long enough. Rousey and Edge, I could not be more proud of them. You know, it's time that the people that really matter start calling out these fickle fans. The people that really fucking... The people that could have helped this business. That company, WWE more specifically, man. If Rousey came back and she put another year full time into this, it could have been awesome for the women's division. But people made her not even fucking want to do it. And why would you? Why the fuck would you invest more time and effort? I saw one thing, BC, don't you feel she kind of just, she scratched that itch for pro wrestling? She did it, and now she's, you know, she doesn't have that passion anymore. And I could not agree more. That's absolutely what happened. She scratched the itch, no doubt. But if her fucking effort, the time that she spent doing what she did, we all agree she got exponentially better as the weeks went on, man. The WrestleMania match she had with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and Kurt Angle was the match of the fucking night, arguably. And if you put in that type of time and effort and you learn it that quickly, all in 1 year, and you put in all those dates when you didn't have to, why the fuck would you come back, dog? And people want to talk shit. Oh, look, yeah, she doesn't have it, man. She can't hang. It was never her fucking thing. No, it's not her fucking lifestyle. She did it. She did it because she wanted to show the fans how much she loved this business. She wanted to show every fucking fan that she was willing to put in the work. How cool is that? When she admitted from day one, that's not the lifestyle she wants to live. She doesn't like the travel necessarily, just like Brock. These real life fighters, they want to get in there, get the job done, get the fuck out. They don't want to do all that hotel bullshit night after night. It's not their lifestyle. She did it. She did it anyway. She wanted to totally just get involved in this. Head first, deep. And she kept getting better and better. She brought a fucking awesome believability to that women's division. And here she is like, why would I mean, she's seeing this. She's seeing what has happened the last year she's been gone. She sees on social media. She sees how fans are shitting on every little thing. They're still shitting on her and she's been gone for a year. Why would you come back? These fickle fans ruin everything just as much as the delusional old man in Stamford, Connecticut. Don't get it twisted. They're one of the same. They think they're helping. They're just hurting. This isn't a plug for yours truly, but it's the truth. The Amplified channel is the most honest, trustworthy, down-the-middle channel you will ever fucking find. It's just the truth. Nobody wants to call shit down the middle or try to help. Nobody's thinking about what they're saying and the consequences that it's gonna have. They just want their opinions to be heard. And when they get called out on it, how dare you? What the fuck? I have an opinion. Don't you know? It's my right. My freedom of speech. Well, I'm going to give you guys some freedom of speech. Not my amplified unit, but for any dumb schmuck who's a fickle fan out there who's ruining professional wrestling, I say, fuck off to the highest degree. And I know, I'm being harsh, so I'm going to get people crying to the amplified man. Fuck you, Beasley. What the hell, man? Even Dave Meltzer didn't like it. He said it went too long. Like I care about a 60-year-old fan's opinion just because he has a magazine. Like I care about fucking Dave Meltzer because he used to know some ins and outs of the business back in the day. Because today he sure as hell doesn't. 90% of the shit Meltzer spews out there is about as correct as my high school math exams. And let me tell you, that's not so correct. Basically, his little sidekick, Brian Alvarez, said it was long and boring. Like I give a fuck about a failed 44-year-old wrestler. Who now this is his job, basically. And 90% of the other fucking podcasters in this community, it's probably their fucking job, so they have to pick one side or the other. They have to pick a shtick. Because they need as many views and as many subscribers as they can possibly get. This is their fucking livelihood. Not me. Don't put me into that category, guys. I do this for one sole purpose. Because I love this business and I want to make it better. It's not a job for me. Even though, trust me, the work hours that goes into it, it could easily be. This is my love. My passion. I'm not here for a shtick. I'm not here to send out my opinion on every little thing because I need to have content. No, don't put me in these fuckers' leagues. Fickle fans and Vince McMahon, those are the two things that are bringing the business of professional wrestling, the industry, down faster than ever. Nobody wants to talk about that. We all just want to say it's Vince McMahon. It's fickle fans too. Trust me, on this channel, we're going to continue to call out bullshit, and we're going to dissect every single negative, no question. But I'm also going to do it not just respectfully, but I'm going to do it in a way that is going to be helpful. I'm going to do it in a way that can actually help individuals, the product, and the company. I'm not just going to put out undirected opinions. They don't help. It just shows that nobody's a fan anymore. Everybody's a fucking critic. That shit's gotta stop. And I know, maybe I'm not helping in that scenario. People like me being on YouTube and doing what we do because then fans see that and they try to emulate it. Or they think, yeah, I'm gonna put my opinion out there for every little thing. And then you just have every single fan trying to be a critic. I mean, if you guys don't see an issue with this, it's a problem. Social media and the way people use it, not in a helpful way, in a disrespectful way, and in a way where everybody wants to just have their voice heard constantly. It is such a burden. It's so much pressure on wrestlers and the companies. The bubble's about to burst faster than it ever was going to before with the nonsensical bullshit from within the company. Now you have all this outside pressure. I don't know. It's a vicious cycle. Anyway, that's the opening monologue. I love Edge and Ronda Rousey calling out these motherfuckers, man. Everybody, they got a wake-up call. And I'm sure, I know, they're all going to be crying even more today, man. They're going to double down and triple down. They can't handle it. Okay, that's what it is. 46-year-old Edge. He's pounding Beth Phoenix. He's got a family. He's got a mansion. He's got millions of dollars. Been doing this for decades. Madly successful. He can't handle your opinion. Okay, that's what it is. Smackdown for April 10th, 2020. I'm going to go over this kind of fast because there's not much to go over, guys. We open with a confrontation between new Universal Champion Braun Strowman and Shinsuke Nakamura. This, of course, is to set up the main event between the two later in the night. In the night. But wait! I'm sorry, what? These two were just battling over the IC title last month. Now, weeks later, it's the same shit. Just take out the IC strap and insert the Universal title. I'm sorry, not sorry. Was that supposed to get people excited for the rest of the night? You see how I did that, by the way, guys? You see how I just dissected that, but I was reasonable about it? I talked about the past with Shinsuke and Nakamura, Shinsuke and Braun Strowman. fighting over the IC title just weeks ago, and now here we are just weeks later, and now all of a sudden they're fighting over the Universal Championship, and how that just doesn't make sense. I wasn't disrespectful about it, I don't think, right? But I am calling out the logic in this. I am trying to say, how is just inserting Shinsuke as Braun's first opponent? How is that change after Mania? Mania is supposed to culminate feuds. What we saw last night on SmackDown was the same feuds before Mania still going on. I mean, look at the first match of the night. It was a rematch of WrestleMania between the new Women's Tag Team Champions Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus former champions Asuka and Kairi. Titles on the line. This match was just odd from the beginning. Because you're like, that culminated, right? Why would you further add insult to injury to Asuka and Kairi? Because you know you're not going to have Asuka and Kairi win this match. Sure enough, this was just to add insult to injury. They lost the titles at Mania, and then they lost to the same team 6 nights later when Cross pinned Sane to retain the championships. I think it's time for Asuka and Kairi to follow the Revival's lead and get as far away from WWE as possible. It's a shame, but it's reality. There was no need to put Asuka and Kairi into that situation. And that's not even shade to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They did fine last night. I'm not even going to pick on their wrestling. They did fine. This is a booking mistake from the beginning. Does nothing for Asuka and Kairi. Next up, they show a video package from Mania of Otis and Mandy and the kiss heard round the world. After the package airs, Dolph and DeVille come storming out to ringside and up to the commentary table. They claim the footage is doctored and demand to talk to Mandy to clear everything up. Instead, they get Tucker, Otis's partner. Tucker says Otis is busy and shows pics on the Tron of Mandy and Otis working out together from earlier in the day. Tucker then challenges Dolph. This is another rematch, of course, from last week, which was before WrestleMania, which again just means this is continuing. Now, I don't mind Otis and Dolph at least continuing their storyline, and if we can see Tucker really get out and shine, then I guess I'm okay with that at least. But again, the fact that it was just another continuation from WrestleMania, that's what I don't like. If it's just one or two things, that's one thing. Dolph wins this match, obviously, because again, it does look like Otis and Dolph will have a part 2. But Tucker held his own here, guys, and I'm really proud of him. He really... I know Otis gets a lot of the attention. Deservingly. The guy is wildly entertaining. But I do have to say, guys, Tucker can go in that ring. Tucker is pretty badass, and he's no slouch. So even though Otis gets the headlines, Tucker can hold his own. Hour number 2 kicks off with Miz and Morrison giving a live performance of their Hey Hey song. The Usos come to the ring and say words. Then the New Day come down the ramp and they say words. Nothing that any of them are saying is meaningful at all. In fact, the idiocracy hits an all-time new level when Kofi Kingston says next week Jey Uso versus The Miz versus Big E for the tag titles is official. Where do I even begin? First, wasn't the whole point of WrestleMania to put an end to this half-ass feuding between these teams and starting something new? Of course not! There's no tag team division, so we'll be seeing these 3 teams take each other on 76 more times this year. And the Usos and the New Day will be facing each other till their retirement in 2027. Secondly, for the second time in a 2-week period, the tag titles will be defended in a singles match. This is a farce, it is a sham, it's an embarrassment. The Revival must feel like they hit the lottery when you look at this tag team division. WrestleMania, they have the tag titles defended in a singles match, a ladder match, one-on-one-on-one. Next week, the tag titles will be defended again in a singles match. They're no longer tag titles anymore. This is what I mean. This tag division isn't just bad anymore. It is a farce. It's an embarrassment. That's what I mean. This, guys, is where you put in criticism. This is where you have your voice heard. Situations like this that don't even make sense. It is a tag team title, and we're seeing multiple tag defenses with no tag teams competing. A much-needed injection of tag team talent hit SmackDown minutes later when the Forgotten Sons made their debut and defeated the House Party. You guys know I was getting really high on the Forgotten Sons in NXT. And not too long after, here they are on the main roster. I feel this is a good infusion. I do fear what Vince McMahon is actually going to do with them, given what he has done with the tag team division. But I know the Forgotten Sons are a damn good tag team. And when I think of matches with them and Heavy Machinery down the line, or even Forgotten Sons and New Day, Forgotten Sons and Usos, you can set up nice feuds. For a time period, we don't have to see the Usos in the New Day. The Forgotten Sons are a damn good infusion of talent. So that was good to see. Sasha Banks and Bayley are out next. Straight up, Bayley's ass in them jeans. Humada, fuck yeah! Wow, Bayley sports those jeans, man. She is backing that shit up. Damn, Bayley in jeans. I can't even get that out of my mind now, man. Like, whoa. Bayley's got that ass. Bayley and Sasha's heel work was exceptional here. Tamina hits the ring and challenges Bayley for the title. After some banter, Bayley accepts if Tamina can beat Sasha first. Bayley looks like she did Sasha a favor. Sasha's like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want to take her on. So Sasha was like, they're conflicted. Listen, I actually didn't mind this, man. Even Tamina's work. I know. I'm really critical on Tamina. Okay, that's someone I am critical on. For justified reasons. But even her, man, I felt she was good on the mic, man. Dominant presence, played her character. Only thing she probably can play, but hey, she played it well. And Bayley and Sasha were just on, man. That was some of their best heel work ever, Sasha and Bayley last night. I fucking loved it. Bayley has come into her own as a heel. That's what I really like. And Sasha, just fucking Sasha last night, man. She wasn't trying to play Sasha Banks last night. That was the old school Sasha from NXT that I was seeing. Man, I really loved that last night from them in this segment. Didn't suck. You know, I don't know what to expect from Sasha and Tamina next week, but I really do fear that they're just going to have Sasha job to Tamina to get Tamina over to Bayley's title at Money in the Bank, obviously. I mean, that's what it's looking like. Sasha's going to lose a match to fucking Tamina Snuka, and that doesn't sit well with me. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Sheamus wins a squash match. I believe this was Matt Bloom's son, right? Of course, coach for the NXT and the Performance Center. I believe that was Matt Bloom's son. I forgot his name. Derek Bloom? Something Bloom. But I believe that's who that jobber was, guys. So I want to be hesitant in calling him a jobber. That's disrespectful to Mr. Bloom. But Sheamus wins that squash match. And then the main event was Braun Strowman beating Nakamura in the main event, just to make Nakamura look more like an idiot, even though he's Shinsuke fucking Nakamura. At one time, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and now you probably don't even know he's still on the roster. Post-match, Bray Wyatt appears in the Funhouse on the Tron and has some words for Braun. And this is setting up Braun and Bray Wyatt already for Money in the Bank. I mean, this is one or two things, guys. This is the old man in Stamford finally having enough people in his ear telling him they fucked up. Put that strap back on Bray. Bray needs to win this matchup. Bottom line. So this is them trying to right their wrong, or this is literally just Braun's first of many title defenses just to get it to Roman Reigns. And if that means that Bray Wyatt, all of this thing leading up to John Cena at Mania, the freaky deaky Firefly Funhouse at WrestleMania, whether you liked it or not, doesn't matter. A lot of thought, a lot of creativity was put into it. All of this, pinning John Cena, whether a real match or not, at WrestleMania, because he did. I mean, real referee didn't pin him, but still, he covered John Cena. All of this was to lose to Braun Strowman weeks later. Guys, if that's the case, I mean, you guys thought when Bray Wyatt lost that championship to Goldberg on a Thursday afternoon in Saudi Arabia, you thought that the video I made after that was crazy and fucking just the most amplified ever? If Bray Wyatt loses to Braun Strowman at Money in the Bank, which is, we believe, to be at the Performance Center. Royal Farms Arena, I was the first to break this before they even broke it weeks ago. Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore have canceled Money in the Bank. Or, yeah, totally canceled. They didn't postpone it. They canceled it. So now Vince is going to try to do Money in the Bank, we believe, at the Performance Center. There's already qualifying matches being talked about. If this is just for Bray Wyatt to lose, guys, I'm going to flip like never before, man. And that's why I say this channel is the only place to be, because when I flip, it's for a reason. It's for meaning. It's not just because I have opinion on everything, or I'm calling a negative out on every little thing. No, it has meaning behind it. It has reason. So when I'm flipping, yeah, shit's about to get real. Shit's about to hit the fan. Bray Wyatt, if they're going to do this, he's got to get his belt back. And this is somebody who's been saying from day one that the character Bray Wyatt is like the Undertaker character. That type of character doesn't even need a championship. But WWE fucked up from the beginning when they even put him in a title match with Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell. Then they made him lose that, and they fucked up even more. So then it became a predicament where he has to win the championship now because you put him in the title picture so quick. And then you made him lose on a Thursday afternoon at Super Showdown. You're damn right, now he has to get that title back. They did that to themselves. But he's got to win that match. I'm okay with this match. Obviously, guys, this is a fucking good story. Just like Daniel Bryan was. They had history. Just like John Cena at first. Wasn't sold on it, obviously, because I felt it should be Bray Wyatt with the championship against Cena. I mean, that's the story that should have been told. Cena going for his 17th. But as the weeks went on, it was clear that, Cena was taking this serious. The promos that Cena was delivering was serious, John. And that's the John Cena we needed. So the story actually got better. So that ended up even making sense. And then now you have Braun, which obviously makes sense. I love the final words of Bray Wyatt. He said, I brought you into this world. I'm taking you out. And I love that. Because he was the henchman for Bray Wyatt. And now Braun Strowman has the championship from the guy that beat him for it. I mean, the story is sitting in their lap. So of course I love this. I'm gonna love the story going forward. I'm sure it's Bray Wyatt. He's creative as fuck. It's not often I don't like something that Bray's doing. So this makes sense. I just hope this goes the right way, guys. And not just the right way because it's the way I want it to go. The way it literally should go for the wrestlers. Those characters. That's who I'm thinking about. I don't give a fuck about getting my own way. I give a fuck about those wrestlers. The stories, and what it's all leading to. So, this match has a lot of weight on it. This match has a lot of stock that is put into it. Whether Vince wanted that or not, whether he was just trying to go for a quick money grab or keep people's interest. So obviously Braun and Bray is the match. Roman Reigns is going to be out for the foreseeable future. He refuses to come back, and obviously that's the right call. Protect yourself. So, obviously, Bray and Braun now. And this is going to be, man, we're going to watch vividly for sure. Put your phones down, guys, and watch it, all right? And then we'll all talk about it. We'll all be able to actually talk about it justly, right? If we do things correctly, man. Put the phone down. Let's watch it, man, and let's hope for the best here. But that's your next big matchup. And that was SmackDown. So, not horrible given the climate that we're in, right? The recent shows that we've been getting. Not absolutely horrible, but I just saw way too many feuds, if you will, continuing past WrestleMania. That's the shit I didn't want to see. Another one-on-one match, singles match for a tag team title. That flips me out to no end. Shinsuke and Braun, even though it's just one extra night, we just got done with that in the IC title. You have to get a little more creative than that. Have somebody new in there. Elias still talking that shit about Baron Corbin. You know what I mean? So that means Elias and Corbin is going to extend, it looks like. What's the need, man? WrestleMania is supposed to culminate feuds, end shit. Not just continue it on because you just don't want to be creative, or maybe you forgot how to be creative. Maybe you have employees there that just aren't creative. But we're getting the same shit, a lot of it, that we saw heading into Mania. We're seeing the same shit coming out of Mania. I'm the Amplified Man. I'm sure I pissed a lot of people off in this fucking cast. I love it, man. You know me. I'm the boogeyman, the fucking asshole, the bad guy. But my Amplified unit, you guys fucking love me, and I love you guys, man. We know the deal. But for stragglers and people outside the unit, I probably pissed you off. And if you ain't with me, You're just fucking against me anyway, so I'm glad I did. And that's the first of many tears that you're gonna shed at the hands of the B motherfucking C, baby. We just getting started! When I say I'm helping this business, I mean I'm helping this business. I don't care who cries in the process, who gets their feelings hurt in the process. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they're usually full of shit. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about your First Amendment. I care about the facts. I care about calling shit justifiably down the middle. Sometimes the truth hurts. Think, be live, amplified.